After all the enormous problems that the GM Chevrolet Blazer electric car, the brand new one, has faced, 23 major failures, it's been removed from sale by General Motors. But the thing is here, unfortunately, General Motors EV buyers, they're saying that the new Ultium electric cars, the model it is, they're all plagued with some serious problems. Here's what customers are saying has been happening, and it's quite a surprise for what you would think would be an impressive new EV. It's Ultium after all, right? Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. To be fair here, Mary Barra did electrify the world. Joe Biden said so it must be true. But General Motors and Mary Barra are clearly struggling with their latest electric car. Unfortunately, those struggles are not limited to the Blazer EV. GM owners say Ultium cars have numerous problems, including charging issues, infotainment problems, and a lot of frustration, which apparently is directed at the Cadillac Lyriq, the GMC Hummer, and of course the Chevrolet Blazer EV. So all three models. So what does this mean? Well, we've seen, of course, like I said, General Motors just pulled the Blazer EV from sale. Owners are now saying that their Hummer EVs, their Cadillac Lyriqs, and other Chevy Blazers have had similar problems, and General Motors is having a hard time with it. It's sort of like the software problems. Primarily, I think these are the issues. Similar software problems to what Volkswagen Group EV owners had, but possibly worse from what I'm hearing. The floodgates have apparently opened, and now owners are saying, yeah, this is annoying, this is crazy. So Cadillac Lyriq, GMC Hummer EV, and Blazer EV owners have been posting sort of all over the internet now saying, guys, it's not just a couple of test vehicles being driven by the media. These issues plaguing GM's EVs. So what are some of the problems that owners are reporting? Okay, glitchy, broken infotainment systems. Infotainment systems apparently flashing on and off. Edmunds say that they had similar problems to inside EVs. Reviewers, in fact, numerous reviewers have had problems with the infotainment, glitching, turning on and off, doing all kinds of crazy things. You've got to stop the car, restart it, and try and reset the infotainment system. Now, of course, in an EV and in a modern new car, it matters. The infotainment system matters a lot more than it does in older, more analog style cars where, you just got that old dash in front of you. It doesn't really matter if the infotainment screens work or not. Sure, you might not have CarPlay or whatever. It doesn't matter that much. But in a newer EV, a lot of the features and functions now go through the touchscreen. If you don't have it, if that's not working, it's going to be pretty stressful. Andrew Kozar, who's had his Blazer EV for about 3 weeks now, said that after 5 days of ownership, the car's infotainment screen crashed and he got stuck in the same loop, as in the infotainment system just keeps on rebooting itself over and over and over and over and over and over. He said this, "We took it to the dealer. No one knew what to do. After 2 weeks, a tech was finally able to reproduce the issue. After some insistent prodding from myself with picture proof, I was not making it up. They decided to do a software update that bricked the infotainment system and gauge cluster, rendering it completely useless. Because no speedometer means no driving. We are currently waiting on a replacement module, and on week 3 of the dealer having my car, I was lucky enough to drive it for 5 days, issue free." However, then he said that the dealership replaced the entire radio module. He said it was installed, but Kozar says the dealership's technicians couldn't sync the new radio module to the car, so the car is still actually inoperable, and he doesn't know when he's going to get his car back. Other owners have said things like infotainment screen conked out after 3 days after taking ownership, and they've spent weeks with the dealership with an infotainment screen that consistently crashes and reboots with no response from General Motors dealers, and who are probably baffled by these new vehicles. They don't have probably really any experience with them. You can see how owners are having some pretty bad first initial experiences. Now, looking at some of the photos here, guys, I've got to say the Blazer EV, it does look good. Cadillac Lyriq, they look good. It's just such a pity that the substance doesn't match the style. There's another owner who said this: "I had the infotainment issue where the screen would just cut out while driving as well. The issue made me sell that car was Super Cruise. I had it on my previous Escalade and it worked flawlessly. The Lyriq, on the other hand, would frequently disengage from Super Cruise without any reason. There was a stretch of highway that was straight. It disconnected 4 or 5 times. It was sunny with pretty low traffic. Anyway, he goes on to say that there's numerous issues with infotainment in his GM electric car. Now, he had a Cadillac Lyric. He said that his Lyric's infotainment system was pretty bad. Now, I went onto some forums, GM forums, and found there was actually quite a few owners who had similar experiences with the Cadillac Lyric, unfortunately. Are you one of them? Let us know if you are in the comment section. Charging issues. Okay. Charging issues are not just to do with the chargers. In this case, unfortunately, it's actually the cars themselves. One user said, on October the 4th, I stopped in Columbia in my GMC Hummer EV, South Carolina at 11:35 p.m. at a state of charge of 30%. I was the only one there. I plugged into a 350 kilowatt fast charger. It charged for a single minute and 55 seconds at max 300 kilowatt charging speeds. Then I noticed the charge rate jumped suddenly and it stopped charging. Then a charge port error came up on the screen saying, no, it couldn't charge anymore. And basically, yeah, the car was essentially stuck. The local GM dealer cleared the codes. That's all they did. And everything was okay. Until a few weeks later. That's when the Hummer did the same thing. The only difference is that the car would charge at a very slow rate of only 9 kilowatt. So it's basically charging at AC charging, not DC, but using a DC fast charger. The local GM dealer cleared the codes and the car continued. Apparently, this issue is more likely to happen at Electrify America charging stations, so owners are trying to avoid those stations. Now, unfortunately, it seems to me that the first experience is often the last experience. A lot of owners, having a new EV is something new to them. They're going to pass on their experience to others. If you're a big General Motors fan and you go out and buy their newest, latest electric car, you want something that's going to work and it's not going to just brick itself quickly. And this is really probably doing a disservice for General Motors, but not just for General Motors, but for electric cars. It's going to put a sour taste in people's mouths. It's going to turn them off EVs. So hopefully General Motors can solve these issues and give new owners a positive experience. What are your thoughts? Thanks for watching.